right? So actually, I was in Damascus, this was in the 90s, and I said to this German fellow, I said, have you been to Australia before? Actually, I think he said Australia. He said, no, I haven't been to Australia before. I'm like, but yet you believe it exists. How come? You don't have, how do you know it's there? You didn't go there yourself, right? Because if you want to believe that all that is true is that which you can see and touch and smell yourself, then if you've never been to Australia, why do you believe it's there? He's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't believe there's Australia. I said to myself, yeah, mu'anid, right? This is someone, he knows what he's saying is completely ridiculous, but nevertheless, because I caught him in a space where he didn't want to be, right? So before I got on a plane to Sydney from Hong Kong, I believed there was a city called Sydney, and no one had to, I didn't have to come and see it for myself. Why? Because I can't believe that all of the people who talk about Sydney who live there, and all of these people could have came together. It's one huge, massive conspiracy that there's this continent that's so far away from everything else called Australia that people made it up. No, we can't believe that. I can't accept that. So these are what we call musallamat badihiyat, things that are just self-evident, right? And we as Muslims, we need to go back and regain those things. So one of the self-evident things is that men and women, al-dhakar wal-untha, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're equal. And there is no preference intrinsically for one over the other. That's where we start. When we're talking about gender relations, that's where we begin. Then we move on from there. Then we can go on to different things. But that has to be accepted, right? And that the differences in creation, right? We have to remember another musallam, another thing that we have to know is true. When Allah creates something, He does it for a reason. And He does it for what we call a hikmah, or there's a wisdom behind it. So the idea that everything was created in pairs. Everything we created as two pairs, min dhakarin wa untha, in a male and a female. Everything is like that, right? Even the flowers that pollinate, they have a male and female. Everything. Every creature, nearly every creature has a male counterpart and a female counterpart. So if this is the reality, right, then Allah didn't do that, what we say, abathan, or in vain. There's a reason behind it, right? And the reasons that God does things are both for the, let's say, the sanctity of this life as well as the next. And that means our recognition of those reasons, right, will give us an insight, a window into what? Into Tawheed. Understanding the reality of creation, right? And understanding the reality of creation is not entirely dependent upon what I can see and what I could touch and what I could smell. It's not entirely dependent upon the five senses. It's beyond that, right? And as people of deen, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ, right? Those who believe that which cannot be perceived. That's what ghaib is. Al-ghaib, right? الَّذِي غَابَ عَنْ حَوَاسِكَ, the thing that you can't perceive with your senses. So we believe there's things we can't perceive with our senses, but nevertheless, we believe there is true, if not more so than the things that we can see, right?